Hi, folks. Welcome to the final episode of The Hang in Season 3. I think it was only fitting that we bring back who started this all off. With me at the top of the season, Andrew Cobra Kai Kober. What can I say? It's going to be an episode of nonsense. He's probably going to make fun of me throughout. And more importantly, you're going to see two friends with a lot of joy and a lot of love for each other. Thanks for hanging out with us.
You're listening to the Broadway Podcast Network.
Do people tell you you look like Oscar Isaac?
All the time.
Yeah, I've never seen it, but
When he did Star Wars, I didn't see him do it, but he had a shaved head, right? The amount of tweets, and actually some friends to him, man, yeah, fucking, you're awesome in Star Wars. I'm like, am I?
am I? Thank you.
When Ramin Malek won the Oscar,
Yeah,
the amount of like congratulatory
I don't really
tweets
feel like
I got.
you look like him.
No.
No,
They just stopped at RAM. I know this guy.
I know. That's funny.
So how I tweet back was just,
Thanks.
you.
Thank you.
Appreciate it.
Great.
Where's the AI?
We've been rolling. I texted you.
It's on your phone.
Okay. We're going to roll with me just reading that off the...
That'll be the introduction.
We've been rolling. We're good.
Okay.
Hang on, my mom's coming in.
Who?
My mom.
Really?
Yeah.
I've never met your
The
mother.
old Iranian lady.
I've never
walking
met her.
around streets in New York. Carolyn.
Mrs. Caramel?
She's coming in quietly.
I've never met
It's
her.
as quietly as she comes.
Well, she's a mother. Why have you never introduced us?
Have you been around when she's been around?
I've known you for years. I mean, I'm sure that at some point we've
My mom doesn't
all been
live
in the
with
same
me.
city.
This is
I
the
know
first
that,
time
but
she's been here.
I'm sure there has been a point in the last, 10 years that the three of us have been in the same city.
How many times have I seen you in the last 3 years?
10 years, I'm saying.
10 years even.
I don't know, a dozen.
Andrew Kober is an American...
Wait, you've got to set up where this comes from. This
No,
introduction.
I'm gonna back intro it. Don't tell me how to do my podcast.
You're going to do a back intro? Is that
Yeah.
an industry term? I'm going to back intro.
We're gonna
it.
back intro it.
That's nothing.
What is it then?
Not
It is. There's something about it, isn't it?
It's nothing.
This is the entire cold.
I'm going to back,
back
intro.
intro.
It. I'm going to back intro it.
We're gonna. Yeah.
It's not anything.
So it's like if you open a concert and you do 2 songs without saying a word, then you.
Uh-huh. That's called a cold open.
Is that what a cold open is? Okay. Andrew Kober is an American actor and singer, best known for his work in musical theater. He was born on February 17, 1981, in Atlanta, Georgia, and raised in New Jersey. Kober began his career in theater in the early 2000s, performing in regional productions of musicals such as Les Miserables and The Full Monty. He made his Broadway debut in 2007 in the musical Les Miserables, playing the role of Fui. That's not true. Kober has also appeared in other Broadway productions, including Hair, She Loves Me, and School of Rock. He has also appeared in off-Broadway productions, including The Black Suits, The Fortress of Solitude, period. I thought there was going to be a third one. Hasn't done much. Kober is known for his comedic timing and his ability to bring humor and heart to his performances. Not true. He has also released several albums, including his debut album, Cabaret, in 2014. Oh!
Wow.
Welcome to The Hang once again.
Great to be back.
That's the back intro.
That's nothing.
The backtro.
Nope. That's why I'm not afraid of AI. Is that I was until 2 minutes ago I was afraid of AI.
That's
for
what
our
I said. I was
future.
afraid of the AI.
I know.
AI.
You okay?
I can't even
Can't
say it. It's
it.
2
What
letters.
if they come for you? I have been afraid historically. That to me allayed any fears that I've had.
Let's unpack this. February
Okay.
17, 1981. True?
Neither the date nor the year are correct.
Holy shit. Atlanta, Georgia?
Nope. Never been there, as a matter of fact.
Were you raised in New Jersey?
Nope.
Come on.
It started out real strong.
Were your regional productions Les Mis and Full Monty?
No, I've never done Les Mis regionally. I only did it on Broadway.
Broadway debut 2007?
No, 2009.
And that wasn't Les Mis?
Nope, that was Hair. Les Mis was like 2014?
Yeah.
Yeah. Didn't play Fui.
No, you didn't.
Nope.
Were you in the Black Suits in
No.
the Fortress of Solitude?
Neither.
Have you heard of them?
Yes.
Okay.
I auditioned for one of them. I think Fortress of Solitude didn't book.
Are you known for your comic timing, though?
I think that's where it really locked into the truth.
I don't know.
And that's like a truth beyond facts. That's where AI does worry me because
Right.
it knows something that's like elementally true beyond what you could find on Wikipedia.
We can argue that. And it says you bring humor and heart to your performances. I don't think I
And
saw
to the
that.
people lucky enough to know me, it left that part out.
But I don't think I saw that in your factory foreman. So I didn't
Well-
see heart or humor.
Okay. There was heart. And there was humor. You don't know what I was getting up to upstage in the dark.
Oh, no, I did. That's the problem.
That's why. Yeah.
And you've released several albums.
I'm on several albums. They're not like Andrew Kober albums.
Can we unpack Cabaret? Is this real?
Cabaret is real. Cabaret. Yeah, Cabaret is the name
What?
of my one man show, my solo show.
You called it Cabaret?
Cabaret.
Cabaret?
Not Cabaret.
Because you were trying to be like Cabaret.
Yeah, it was a cabaret act by
You
Andrew
called it
Kober.
Cabaret?
Cabaret. Yeah.
This makes sense why you came on a tiny little white scooter.
Now, what does that mean? Tiny little white scooter.
What is that you're
It's
riding on?
It's an electric scooter.
That's electric?
yeah.
First of all, they're not even allowed in my building. How'd you get through to go
What are you
past the
talking
guards?
about?
We got an email saying no electric scooters in the building.
I waltzed
Because don't they
right in.
catch fire?
Well, that hasn't yet.
Are you allowed it in rehearsal space?
Yeah.
What's on this album?
Although I know that some theaters have banned them. That's true.
Yeah, ours has.
So has Sweeney Todd said no electric scooters. I'm not in that.
No, someone else
That's
got your part.
ChatGPT, I know. But my friend John Rapson.
Yeah, who I ran into, and I heard he's amazing in it.
I did too, and he told me that he bought a scooter and they won't let him take it to work.
Poor guy.
I know. I know.
Jared in
Here's
ours.
mine.
Jared got like a Harley of scooters. This thing
yeah.
is massive.
Sure. Yeah. Well, this is
He's got to take it to a parking place.
Well, because here's really
Yeah.
Here's what I'm about. I'm not trying to scoot from home. I live in New Jersey. I take
yeah,
it.
so that's what went through my mind. So
Okay.
you live in New Jersey.
That's right.
You got a Tesla.
Yeah.
You drive that to,
Well, no.
No.
I take the scooter from my house to the train station.
which is how far?
A mile. Then I
You
fold
don't get your
it.
steps in?
No, sometimes I do on a nice day, but like today, because I had a thing to do on my lunch break that I needed to be very quick on time about.
What was that?
This, where we
on.
are right now.
Welcome.
I usually walk. I do walk to the train station, but like if I'm going far, or if I have like a bunch of errands to run around the city, or whatever, it folds up and goes right in the overhead thing on the train.
Fair enough. Fair enough.
I bring it, and here's the real reason that it's been great is those blocks. My train from New Jersey gets into Penn Station. Those blocks between Penn Station and the theater district are the worst blocks in New York
Worse.
City. The worst.
Not
right?
fun to walk.
The 30s, low
Yep.
40s along 7th and 8th Avenues.
Busy.
Busy. It's like depressing. It's a little unsafe, it feels to me, the last couple of years.
Yep.
And I much prefer to just zip right on past. I don't want to take the subway, so I don't love the walk. So on a nice day, I zip, baby. I'm in that bike lane and I'm flying on that thing.
It's a cute little white one you got.
You want to take it for? You do want to try it? I know you do.
100%.
Yeah, I know.
But where's
you
your
do.
helmet?
I left it at rehearsal, which was
So you do wear a helmet.
Yeah.
Promise?
I did. Promise. It's in the rehearsal room right now, but only
right.
because I was going like 3 blocks. And because I was sneaking out in the middle of a rehearsal, I didn't want to make a whole ruckus.
Fair enough.
Because by the way, I think you asked me to do this maybe 20 hours ago. Like this wasn't planned. This was like, you sent me tomorrow, ? And I went, what? And he said, it's the season finale.
This is it. This is
Okay.
what everyone's been waiting for.
I don't think that's true. And what I was picturing was you'd have like a guest, there'd be guests, then I'd do a pop in, and also I'm here. And that would be and I'd go.
Yeah, but you didn't know the other two, so you couldn't do a pop in.
I didn't know I wouldn't know them. I didn't know who they would be. Even now, I don't really know who they were. You see what I'm saying? So yeah, I scoot around, man. It's really good. I really like it.
What are you rehearsing? Are you allowed to say?
No. In fact, I asked the producers this morning, I'm going on a podcast. Am I allowed to talk about this? And they had like a little huddle up and decided no.
So what is it?
I can't tell you.
What's it called?
Right.
Who wrote it?
Great writers.
Who's directing it?
A fantastic director.
Who's in the cast?
Some of the best actors.
When's it coming out?
Soon.
Can't wait.
Me too. It's going to be great.
If that's not advertising.
I know. So there's that. That's great. That's been really good. I'm like booked. Here's the problem, because I was thinking on my way here, like, what do we talk about? I've got all these great shows coming up, and I can talk about none of them.
First of all, anytime you've been on the hang, how many times? Is this third
This
time?
is 9,
Fourth,
10.
including the co-host
Feels like more.
with Will. What am I going to talk about? You probably think that every time.
I do think that every time. Although I knew, as I was getting into your elevator, I was like, well, I guess the scooter will probably come up. I guess.
We are recording, right?
Yes.
Okay.
I sent you another ChatGPT prompt.
Oh, no. I've been on there a lot lately. ChatGPT.
Do you have the app then?
I don't. I mean, I just go to the website. You can just go. You don't need an app. You use an app?
Yeah.
I don't need the app.
But do you have to? Do you pay for an account?
No.
To use it?
No.
On the web, you don't have to.
Really?
On mobile, it's a little easier.
So, but to have it on your phone, you got to pay.
You can use the website.
You're gonna cut all this out, right? This is the most boring content.
No, we're keeping it all in. People want to know about AI. I don't know much about it.
Clearly, you're the host. You're supposed to know.
You made this up.
I did not.
Oh no.
That is a legit screenshot.
Okay, let's hear it.
What is Ramin Karimlou's podcast about?
Oh God.
So this is according to AI?
Yeah.
Now wait.
Can I read it? Can I do the reading? Oh, come on.
All right. Just so I know.
Uh-huh.
So this is from an app called Chatbox,
Okay, but it uses the ChatGPT.
API, yeah.
but there's other AI apps you can download, right? You don't
Probably.
necessarily have to have Chatbox, but do they all use the same AI GPT?
No, everybody has. There's a number of different artificial intelligence chatbots. The biggest one is called ChatGPT, and this app I'm hearing uses ChatGPT to inform its answers.
according
Still
to
with
Chat.
this stupid case, huh?
No, that dongle is.
Boy,
All the
none of
rage.
this is okay. Here we go.
Read it
Ramin-
like you mean it, and then we'll let them decide.
Thank you. Ramin Karimloo has a podcast called The Broadgrass Podcast with Ramin Karimloo.
It's a thing.
Yeah. This podcast is a mix of music, interviews, and conversations with guests from the entertainment industry. Sometimes.
I don't think we've ever had music, have we?
Have you ever had music?
Alan. Yep.
Okay. The name Broadgrass is a combination of Broadway and bluegrass, which reflects Karimloo's love for both genres of music. That's true. In the podcast, Karimloo shares his own experiences in the entertainment industry and discusses topics such as creativity, inspiration, and the challenges of pursuing a career in the arts. That's not untrue.
Yeah, but I don't necessarily share my experiences apart from this last
Yeah,
podcast
that's
I
true.
did.
He also, this part's patently untrue. He also performs acoustic versions of songs from his own repertoire, as well as covers of other songs.
On the podcast, we're saying?
That's what they're saying.
This Chat GPT is full of shit.
This podcast features a variety of guests, including fellow actors, musicians, and other creatives who share their own stories and insights. The Broadgrass Podcast with Ramin Karimloo is available on various podcast platforms, including Apple Podcasts and Spotify. Here's a prompt. Ask it to create, I don't know, 5 or 10 or whatever questions for Ramin Karimloo to ask Andrew Kober on an interview podcast. And then we'll do those.
Okay.
I did once on ChatGPT. I asked it to imagine, to write the script for a meeting.
phone.
All right. To write the script for a meeting between Shakespeare and Sondheim in heaven. And it was great. It was great. It was fascinating. I mean, I didn't bring it or whatever.
Did it ever go like, did Shakespeare go, so what was it like writing Phantom of the Opera?
What was that?
Shakespeare.
And so in this one, Shakespeare thinks Sondheim wrote Phantom of the Opera?
Yeah, because look at all the incorrect
Oh, I see.
information.
Yeah, great. Okay.
You ruined that joke, mate.
I didn't get it.
It's too highbrow. Shakespeare, love.
Too
Shakespeare.
highbrow. Should we talk about Phantom of the Opera or it's too painful?
That was great. I'm very excited for it. Why would it be painful?
No, I mean the me of it all.
Oh, for you.
Yeah.
Yes. Well, we won't say what part, but
Yeah.
you.
There was a moment when it looked like maybe I would get to go be in Phantom of the Opera with you, and because of various
And who helped open those doors for you?
You did.
Because we hang. Thank you.
It's the
What, did you
saddest
send me-
thing. I kept on sending you that gif of from Master of None of the two of them riding around on Vespas in Italy. It's all I wanted.
I wanted to relive
Oh
that.
my God, it's
so
all I
you would have been
wanted.
in Phantom with me.
I know.
Do you know? I was already. We even talked with your
I know,
son
we
in the
haven't even
background
talked.
talking about us doing content
know.
on the road together.
I know. I'm really sorry about that.
And we won't mention the other person, but us three,
Yeah, I know. And it all fell apart.
we would have been an
I know.
internet sensation.
I know. Just
Did you send me this?
Yeah. Okay. Don't tell me the questions. Just ask them.
Well,
you know,
here's
one
what
at a
we
time.
asked the chat box
so the-
GPT.
Chat GPT.
Chat GPT. What does
Uh-huh.
GPT stand for?
Great personal trainer.
GPT.
Yeah.
Say right away
What
as
did you think
GBT.
it was? Oh, no.
Create 5 questions for Ramin Karimloo to ask Andrew Kober during a podcast interview.
Yep.
All right.
Great.
First one's
Okay.
simple but nice. What was your favorite role to play on Broadway and why?
What was my favorite role to play on Broadway and why? That's not a very good podcast question, really, is it?
Why?
It's a little kind of basic, right? Like it doesn't really get a conversation started. It's just sort of like an asked and answered kind of question.
Well, the why will create a conversation.
Okay, what was my favorite role to play on Broadway?
And with our demographic that listens to this, some of them will find this interesting.
Do you think? Okay.
Somehow, some of them find you interesting.
Some of them.
They love you, man.
Yeah?
Yeah. That's why, again, what we could have done in Italy.
Do you know who I was talking to?
You blew it!
Do you know who I was talking to yesterday? Anne Harada. Do you know Anne Harada? She's a fantastic actor. She was the original Christmas Eve in Avenue Q. And
Yes.
She's
Yes.
and everything. She's in Schmigadoon and Chicago. She's
Yes.
terrific. She's in this project that I'm working on right now.
What's that called?
Yeah. And she said, I was listening to Ramin's podcast the other day and you came on. And I said, why were you listening to that? She said, it's a podcast. I was just listening to it. And she was just listening to it like a person would. And I couldn't believe it. I thought this was only for
You and
like
me.
my mom, really. Like I thought,
I have to admit, every now and then
Yeah.
a colleague will like send me a text. I just listened to your podcast with such and such. And I'm like,
you listen to this?
really?
Why did you listen?
And then they're very like, sometimes I say, I don't know if I'm going to keep doing this. And they're like,
Yeah.
please keep doing it. And I'm like, really?
Are you sure?
You got something from this?
Huh.
Interesting. Okay.
Favorite role I've played on Broadway? Beetlejuice, probably. Really fun. Or no. Dewey in School of Rock. I always wanted to learn how to play guitar. Finally got to learn. I got an excuse to learn. The kids were great, and I got to feel like a rock star on Broadway. Those were the
That's
lot.
fantastic.
Thank you.
Are you sure you didn't write this question?
I'm positive. That came straight from ChatGPT. That is a literal screenshot.
That's Alan, our producer in the background there.
No, Alan.
Again, obviously we know Chat
Was it like, how are you so handsome and funny?
You have a background in comedy.
True.
How do you incorporate humor into your performances?
How do I do it, though?
Yet to be seen.
How do I do it? How do I do it?
You do it. How do you do it?
I do it. How do I do it? Whew. You know, my beloved wife Farah.
Mm-hmm.
I'll come home. So I play I do a lot of shows where I'm like various guys, right?
Yeah.
Like if someone asks me who I play in Les Mis, I say various sad French people. Like that was the roles that I was like a bunch of sad French people. And that's kind of what I usually do, right? It's like a bunch of the people in the town. And I usually tend to add in some bits. And because I find that A is fun,
Yep.
B is funny, and C sort of distinguishes the various people, right? Like if you're paying any attention, obviously they're all me, but like, I don't know, maybe one of them has a limp. Maybe one of them, has a funny accent or whatever. And once I went a little too far in a show that we did out of town and Farrah came to see it and I had like, for no reason, an eye patch and a giant cowboy hat. And
That was set by the production. You didn't just come on one day with
no,
an eye
I
patch.
came up with all that in rehearsal, and they just kept saying yes.
All right.
And so I had an eye patch and a cowboy hat and like a big bow tie. There was no like dramaturgical reason for any of that to be happening. Did that answer the question? I forgot what the question was.
Well-
How am I so funny? How do I do it?
Well-
I just add stuff. I add stuff in that I think would be funny to me.
And why would you incorporate that?
Oh, because I think real people, we laugh at the truth, right?
Yeah.
And real people have idiosyncrasies. And like, especially if you're going to meet a character for like 4 lines in a scene, let's make them the most interesting 4 lines of the scene. You know what I mean? Like, why not bring too much to the plate and then edit, you know?
Got it. What advice would you give to aspiring actors who are just starting out in the industry? Yeah, that's a dull question, but that's AI. This is our future right here. So
But
go.
it's not, I'm not worried about the future if that's our future. It's not good. It's not good, these questions. They're better than yours because you don't actually ask any. At least they're questions. You know what I mean? I guess it has that going for it.
Okay, quick, come on.
Excuse me, I'm choking on water.
Hey, if I put a workshop together,
Huh?
will you come and teach some kids with me?
Yeah. I just came back from a big teaching trip in
Yeah, but
California.
I'm not going to charge them.
Okay. Yeah, I'll do it. Buy me lunch. A little sandwich. Wrap.
I'll get you dinner. I want to do it on a Sunday night.
We were
We'll
talking
talk.
about doing dinner anyway.
Yeah.
This Sunday?
No, we'll talk.
What was the question? Oh, advice for young performers. Performing advice or like career advice, do you think?
Choose one. Let's go with career advice. Everyone talks about performing, but like give them the stuff that people never learn.
My
hear
stuff,
it talk about.
my thing that I always harp on is you can be as talented and as well prepared and as trained as anybody in the world. But if you're not kind and easy to work with, you're not going anywhere. You got to be a person. You got to be a good person. To me, and this comes off as self-deprecating, and I don't mean it that way, there are at least 50 guys good enough to do every role I've ever done on Broadway, right? I am good enough to have done them. I'm not saying I don't deserve to have done them. I do. I am good enough to have done them. But the reason that I got them and they didn't is because I'm friendly and personable and I'm good in the room and I show up and I'm on time and I know how to, like, all the stuff that's in my control, which doesn't include how good I am at acting and singing. I'm on point. I know when to be there. I know how to work with others. I know how to be easy. I want to be easy. I want, like, this is stolen from Tina Fey. Tina Fey tells this story in her book about how Lorne Michaels, when he's casting for SNL, looks for people that when it's like the end of the week and the show is tomorrow and they don't know how they're going to do it, and it's 3 a.m. and everyone's exhausted and stressed. When he turns the corner, he hires the people that their face makes him relax. That's what I want to be. I want to be the one that, like, if I see the director in the hall or if I see the stage manager in the booth, they're going to feel a little bit easier knowing that I'm there.
Nice.
Right? That's the thing. That's the thing you want to bring to this. If you can do that, you'll be fine.
And that must mean because you're comfortable in who you are.
I don't know about that.
Checking your phone. What were you so
I'm
busy?
looking to know because I left early to come here, so I want to see when I need to be back.
For what?
The rest of my rehearsal.
Oh, what's that for?
Yeah. And so, comfortable with yourself, yeah, but also, like, I talked about this a little bit. I don't know, I may have talked about this on this podcast, but, like,
The broadcast.
there's I really, part of it's just experience and being comfortable in these kind of environments, but, like, COVID really taught me that I am most comfortable in a rehearsal room or backstage at a theater during a room, right? And, like, that is the best environment for me to be in. I know all the rules. I feel complete mastery of myself and my role in that setting. Like, number one, including home with my family, including anywhere, that is the place where I feel most like me, most comfortable. And so, and I realize this because it was all taken away, right? For 2 years, we couldn't be in those spaces.
Yeah.
And so, thanks to experience and thanks to, like, I think, honestly, we were sort of built for this thing, right? Like, there's something in us that just kind of thrives in that particular kind of environment. Because of my comfort, I'm able to be good in the room. And it's not like I want to be very clear, that's not like a false, like, I'm going to charm them and do my jokes and, like, it's just being genuinely comfortable.
In your skin.
Yeah, in my own skin. Does that make sense?
Yeah. I called it way before you went into this long digression, and you said this was a bad question. Look at all that beautiful information and insight we got from Andrew Kober.
Are we done?
No. Question 4. You have released, this is going to be awesome. You have released your own music.
Oh.
How does your approach to creating music differ from your approach to performing in a musical? What's the last song you wrote?
I've never written a song.
Would you ever want to?
Nope.
You ever wrote lyrics or a scene? Like
nothing.
Didn't you have a comedy troupe? Didn't you write for that?
No, I didn't write with them.
You just performed.
They wrote. I edited. I'm happy to
Why
edit.
aren't you writing?
I'm not a writer.
You tried?
No interest.
No interest. Fair enough.
No interest and no skill, I presume. But
Well, you have
because
to have
I
the
have
interest
no,
to know if you got the skill.
Yeah, that's the thing. And this is going to get lofty quick. I think there's a difference between creative artists and interpretive artists.
Yeah.
And I think I'm a pretty good interpretive artist, but I'm not a creative artist, and I'm not really interested in being one. And it took me a long time to decide that doesn't make me less of an artist. It's just not the thing that I want to do. I'm not interested in your blank page. Give me your page with writing on it, and I'll bring that to life.
See, that's someone who knows her star power, who knows her lane,
Know your thing, man.
who's comfortable in
Well, no, I
Their
hate myself. But
skin.
like,
You don't hate yourself. Don't
sure.
give me that.
No,
No, you
absolutely do.
don't.
Of course I do. But that doesn't limit my ability to, like, take your song or your scene or whatever and, like, show you something in it that you didn't know was there.
Why do you hate yourself?
Because everyone does a little bit. I mean, I do a little
Okay,
bit,
you're
right?
saying a little bit.
Yeah, but
so
like-
that's softened. So you don't hate
Yeah, I
yourself.
don't hate myself completely.
All
No,
right.
of course not.
There you go. Tell yourself you like yourself.
I'd rather not.
I need to hear it.
I like myself.
Thank you. Question 5. It's amazing. So I shoot 3 podcasts in a day.
Yeah.
Somehow there's been this through line with all 3 today. And they're all 3 different Oh, you'll listen back. Of course you will.
I've never listened. I want you to know this, just so you can disabuse yourself of any notion. I've never listened to a minute of this podcast.
Neither have I.
Okay.
They edit it.
Yep. It goes out.
Broadway Podcast Network, and my agent in England will listen to it. And I'm like,
Really?
well, if you're happy, then send it
Sometimes,
out.
you know, my agent and my manager have listened to this. They've told me like, you were great on the.
So they were happy.
I guess.
Final question. What is your favorite memory? Oh, very specific. What is your favorite memory from working on the Broadway production of Hair?
Oh. What was my favorite memory from working on the? Maybe it's okay. Maybe it's just on. Well, you got more?
Yeah.
Okay, great. Maybe it's just on my mind because it's Tony season as we're recording this. The Tonys are like next weekend. Excuse me. At our Tony Awards, which was like 2009, I think.
Yeah.
They did this big opening number where all of the shows from that, there was like a big long opening number. Every show did a little excerpt from their show, and then all of the shows came out together, and we all sang "Let the Sun Shine." Oh, wow. But it was like our full cast and Shrek and like Megan Hilty in 9 to 5 and like Axl Rose. Like it was like all this. It was like a whole mashup of the whole season all at once, and I am there on the broadcast singing "Let the Sun Shine" in between, like, I think Daniel Breaker as Donkey in Shrek and actual Liza Minnelli there as herself, inexplicably. And that was pretty wild.
That's amazing.
Radio City, you've performed at the Tonys, right?
Yeah.
The Radio
With
City's
you.
a pretty...
Les Mis.
Yes, that's right. Absolutely right. Radio City, like looking out on Radio City is a pretty wild experience. It's a pretty big room.
I'm going to crunch ice.
Let's go. It's a big room, and it's like for me growing up, the Tonys was Christmas. Like that was I waited all year for the Tony Awards, and so the Tonys for Hair was my first Tonys, and it was like it was cool.
So twice you've performed at Tony's?
I think that's right.
All right, we've got three more. And here's the question to ChatGPT.
Nailed it.
Big time. Create 3 silly questions to ask Andrew Kober in an
Silly
interview.
questions. Great.
I wonder if someone AI'd me or my voice to say, like, would they make me smarter? Like,
You know what I do listen to is Alec Baldwin's podcast. And he did this whole episode about AI where he talked to a couple of AI experts, which you should have done if you wanted to talk about AI.
I didn't want to talk about AI.
But here we are.
That's how we hang.
He had AI. There's a company that can synthesize your voice.
Yes.
And he had AI do his voice. Did you listen to this?
No, but I want to do it.
It's amazing. He had AI synthesize his voice, and then the podcast starts, and he does this whole long intro. And at the end of the intro, he goes, and also, none of this has been me speaking. This has all been AI. And then he goes, now it's me. And then it's insane because you listen to 5 minutes of this podcast,
Okay.
thinking like it's Alec Baldwin talking.
So what's going to stop a voice clip or even a video, which let's say it's of either of us, never actually filmed, never said these words, they can make you say
Well,
or
that's
appear
gonna
to
be a
say
problem.
whatever.
That's going to be a really
Like,
big problem.
Completely slanderous stuff.
Yeah, that's going to be a thing. I mean, this
That's why you
company,
can't even worry about it,
the
because what are you
company-
gonna do?
Yeah, well, the company that Alec Baldwin was highlighting only does this with people that have authorized it. Like, there's a lot of, you have to like give them consent to use your voice. But
Yeah, it
the
won't be
technology exists. Yeah, exactly. What was the question?
First silly question is, if you could eat only one food for the rest of your life, what would it be?
Okay, so one of my other favorite podcasts is the Off Menu podcast. Do you listen to this?
That one
British
I haven't heard of.
podcast.
Go on.
You're British.
Sure.
It's a
A little
British
bit of
podcast.
this, a little bit of that.
Sure. It's these two comedians, Ed Gamble and James Acaster.
Okay.
And they have different guests every week, and they talk through in a dream restaurant where you could choose anything you want for every course. What would your dream menu be, right? And there's a kind of some people choose to utilize a shortcut whereby they won't get full or have any sort of like GI consequences to their meal. So for this question, can I employ the same kind of like lever?
Of course.
Where, okay, then it would be like pizza, I think, for 2 reasons. A lot of variety there.
Yep.
And B, if I wouldn't feel bad or full after eating it, then great. It'd be pizza. What would yours be? Like a fucking kale smoothie?
I've never had a kale smoothie.
I don't know what you
I'd
have.
go for
You offer
pizza.
me frozen berries.
Who doesn't like frozen berries?
Everyone likes frozen berries, but like, okay. So if you can only eat one thing for the rest of your life, what is it?
I think I'd go for pizza too because you can change it up. There's so much you can do with this. Right? Don't roll your eyes just because I like pizza as well.
You could have come up with something else.
Okay, like what?
Anything else.
I don't want anything else. I want pizza.
Okay. Go on. What's the next silly question?
I'm going to the chair. I want pizza.
Feeling very silly.
What's that voice?
It's like just a silly little man. I'm feeling silly.
Can that be the 1 minute Instagram?
No, that can't be.
That's going to be.
No. All right. What's the next silly question? Can't wait.
If you could switch lives with any fictional character for a day, who would it be and why?
I guess Tony Stark.
Nice.
Right? My favorite superheroes are all the ones that don't have any powers. They're just like rich, insane geniuses, like Batman, Iron Man.
Yeah, I was going with Batman.
Right, yeah. Like, well, but to me, I thought about him, but there's too much darkness there. He's too depressed. Like, that's not a life.
Yeah, but then you get the Bruce Wayne during the day.
Yeah, but Bruce Wayne is not a happy guy either. Tony Stark seems like he has some fun. You know what I mean?
I'd make Bruce Wayne fun. Or do I have to?
Are you paying
be
attention
them?
to the question? It's not you get to get the circumstances of their life, but your personality. It's you get to live a day as them. It's going to be a more fun day being Tony Stark than Bruce Wayne.
Do I get Alfred?
Yeah, or you get
Batman
Pepper Potts or whatever. Isn't that her name? Yeah, see? My son's really into superheroes right now.
If you were stranded on a desert island and could only bring 3 things, what would they be?
It's kind of interesting. Wouldn't bring my scooter. Nowhere to charge it. I mean, also, like, I can't...
Are you going to go in the sand?
That's what I'm saying. I haven't tried it, but I don't think it's good in the sand.
No, not with those tiny little wheels.
No, with those tiny wheels. Airless wheels, though.
Ooh.
What would I bring? I mean, a book, right? Like, you got to bring a book.
Which book?
Long one. Really long. With some variety. I would bring, like, a big anthology of something.
So
right?
you're stuck on a desert island and you already see yourself doing nothing, just sitting there.
I'm already bored. Just the idea. That's my first problem.
He thinks he's on
boredom.
vacation.
First problem, it's too boring here.
He thinks he's on
Now
vacation.
I've got to move to survival, don't I? Okay. I wonder how. Okay, I'll come back to that. I would bring probably like a multi-tool, like the one I have.
Yeah.
You like a little like a Leatherman kind of multi-tool.
Yeah.
Right. That would be useful.
100%.
And a water filtration, like a Brita. I'd bring a Brita that could do salt water, a saltwater Brita.
After 30 days, the light's flashing. Oh, my filter's out.
Well, okay, now let me ask you this. Because your whole thing, right, which I know to be mostly bullshit, is that you're like a tough dude, right? You're like, I'm a tough dude, but I do musical. That's like your
says
whole
I'm a
brand.
tough dude?
Nobody, but I'm saying it's
Exactly.
like your brand, right?
What brand?
I've seen you. Like that's your whole thing. You're like, I'm a gentleman about town who rides a Harley, and like it's your thing. Fine. If you were stranded in the wilderness, how do you think you'd do? Because I'll tell you what I think. You think you would do great, and I don't think you would.
I never said I'd do great.
I know, but I think you would.
I'd
You're gonna
survive.
For how long do you think you make it?
I think as humans, things work out in the end.
So indefinitely, you think you could make it?
I'd build a shelter. Well, it depends. Is there anything to hunt, to eat?
Yeah, let's say you're in like a temperate climate.
Lovely.
Already nice.
Shirts off, getting a tan.
Obviously, shirts off. No, listen, no, that goes without saying. Any temp above 40 degrees, you're taking off your shirt. I think, just in case someone's watching, you never know.
Yeah.
So shirt's coming off right away. That goes without saying. So you think you could build a shelter? You're going to take down some trees and build a little cabin? Do you
my
ever watch
best.
Alone? Have you ever watched Alone? That's the best show.
See, right away, I went to Home Alone.
Okay, let's talk about that then. Your family leaves you behind. They go to Paris.
Culkin in my mind. He survived
I would do well if I were left home alone by my family.
with their credit card.
Yeah, I mean, not even as I mean, like as a 39-year-old man, like I think I'd be okay
I think
if my wife and kids left for Paris and forgot
Not alone.
me, and then burglars tried to get in. We've got a Simply Safe system. Are they a sponsor?
they are now. Simply Safe.
Simply Safe.
Do you feel safe?
Keeping grown men safe,
Safe can be simple.
from the wet
From
bandits.
Simply Safe.
It's not nothing.
Do you think you'll survive? Why do you think you'll survive better
No,
than I
I
will?
would die instantly. It'd be over.
What would kill you?
Suicide. I would give up so quickly and completely. Yeah, there's no chance. Oh, absolutely. As soon as it became apparent that like I wasn't going to be rescued in the next 45 minutes,
As soon as
forget it.
sun's down?
Done. Over. Sorry. Shirt on, by the way.
No, with my shirt. Yeah, I knew with my shirt.
Yeah, no, forget it. As quickly as possible, I'm giving up. Not a chance.
No, you wouldn't.
I can't handle any adversity. I'm not built for it. I'm too soft. I can't do. When I tried to learn guitar for School of Rock, it took me 3 times as long as it should have because my little dainty fingies couldn't handle the frets.
Fine, but you did.
Only
there
on
you go.
electric. I still can't play acoustic. It hurts too much.
Okay, so you won't have the best shelter, but you have something.
I don't think so. Honestly, if it was anything outside the range of like 65 to 70 degrees and there wasn't like a well-stocked cooler and honestly probably Wi-Fi, forget it.
What's the latest reality shows that do this sort of like survival stuff?
Alone. It's great.
Oh, that's
it's
what-
really, really great. It's fascinating. This is what they do. They drop it in the Canadian wilderness because you're Canadian.
A little bit of this, a little bit of that.
And they drop them off. There's not even a camera crew. They have to shoot their own experience up there. And all they have is like a medical check every week or something.
It's cold.
Yeah. They drop them off in the fall. So like the longer you last, and that's the other thing, it's a mind game because whoever is the last to tap out wins this prize. But they don't tell you when other people have tapped out. So like it could be day 60 or whatever, and you don't know if it's just you and another guy or if all 10 people are still in or what.
So you could be at day 60, but everyone tapped out at 20. So you've had 40
Once
days.
you're
of-
the last one, they come and get you.
I was going to say,
Once
keep it
you're-
going
yeah, once you're
until
the-
he taps.
Yeah. No, once you're the last one, they come and let you know. But until then, you don't know how many other players are still in the game.
So a season is how many episodes?
I think it's like 8 or 10 episodes.
All right, I'll check that out.
It's great. It's fascinating because they start to go crazy, these people.
So here we are on the season finale. This is,
And
this
what a
ends-
season it's been. Let's reflect.
Well, it's been 3 seasons.
Wow.
I think we will do a season 4. We'll see what
Okay.
time permits. So
Can I
will you
ask you a
come
question?
back on season 4?
What do seasons mean in the context of a podcast? Like,
No idea. Broadway Podcast Network.
okay, what do seasons mean in the context of a podcast? Anything?
A beginning and end to a recording segment.
So probably next season I'll sit in that chair,
Great.
or maybe we'll find somewhere else.
All right. You know, I had a podcast for a second.
Yeah, what was that called?
The Andrew Cobra Show. We had a podcast for a second, honestly.
On the Broadway Podcast Network?
Yes. No, it was with Broadway Radio. Sorry. It was with Broadway Radio.
So why didn't you pursue it?
It was too much work for me because I wasn't well supported like you are. But I had a podcast for a minute when it was what I wanted it to be like was like classic, like a late night show. I wanted to do like a monologue and have a guest or two and a musical performance, and that was going to be the thing. And so I released one episode, I'm sure it's findable, where I talked a little bit and then I had a guest, don't remember who it was, and then I had Jason Robert Brown as the musical guest. So we did like a short conversation, then he performed a song. And
How did
was the
that not
podcast.
fly?
And my friend wrote a theme song for it and everything, and it was great.
Let's bring it back.
Okay, I'm game. It was really great. And
Well, they'll help you, or we can co-host it.
well, here's what happened. It's like, then it was time to do episode 2, right? No, it was time to do episode 2. And
I was waiting for him to hit that one.
I hit like the smallest of speed bumps. And it was like Janine Tesori was going to be the musical guest. And we were scheduled for like a Wednesday. And she was like, hey, so something came up Wednesday. I'm going to need to reschedule. I was like, great. Let's cancel the podcast. Like I like immediately, like this is what I'm saying about the Desert Island, the smallest amount of adversity. I'm like, I'm fucking out. No way.
You've maintained this friendship, and there's been adversity through the whole thing.
You and I?
Yeah. How many plans never made, like seen through, and
Usually you. You're
You're
not
still-
easy to be friends with.
I know.
Okay. As long as you know that.
I do know that.
I know you know.
Well,
Whoa. Do you want to talk about how much fun we had at the Roundabout Gala? a few weeks ago.
Oh, yes.
That was really fun.
It was fun. We had a good time.
We
Tell
went-
people what that was.
Well, Ramin invited me as his date to go to the Roundabout Gala, which was at the Ziegfeld Ballroom, and it was like it's a big annual gala they do, and to raise money for the Roundabout Theater Company, and Sutton Foster was performing, and it's like a very, very fancy, right? And you know what I'm still kind of like getting over is that auction. I think about it all the time,
How much money people were...
and how casual they were about just incredibly large amounts of money.
Over 100 grand.
Fine, I'll do another 40 grand. All right, let's make it 50.
Unreal.
Just like for fun. And thinking like this amount of money, I mean, is life-changing for a lot of folks.
Remember that first auction? I don't know what it was. And you're like, how much would that go for? I said, I don't know, 5 grand.
Yeah, and it went for like
70 grand later. It's
yeah,
like, what?
yeah. It was wild. And I mean, like, for a good cause, obviously.
Yeah.
And it's nice that these people who have the means to do so are helping such a good organization. I'm very pro money going to the theater.
Yeah.
But, like, there was something about, like, for me to commit anything resembling that amount of money would be weeks of, like, discussions with my wife, with my accountant, with a priest, if I could find one. Like, there would so much, it would be so fraught to just, like, fine, while you're finishing your salad. All right, fine, 30 grand. What are you talking about?
They made so much money that night.
Oh my God. Which is good. It's a great organization. They should. And it was a fun night. We got to see a lot of friends.
It went on long, though.
Yeah, it was long.
We
and then
thought
I
we-
gave you a ride home in my car and you were very mean about my car.
I wasn't mean about your
You said
Tesla.
it was too small and that my wheels were scratched up.
I didn't say it was small. I said you curbed your wheels a
I
lot.
did curb my wheels a lot.
And that bothers me.
That you made that clear.
Yeah.
Okay. But now
That's not being mean.
But now that you've seen the full picture, now picture this. So I drive an electric car that's white, right? I also have an electric scooter that's white. And so what happens is sometimes if I'm going somewhere and I know I'm going to be parking far away from my destination, right? I'll put the scooter in the trunk. And then when I get there, I park and I feel like, you know, the Batmobile when the Bat motorcycle
Yeah.
undocks from it and goes, that's what it feels like to me.
Yeah.
I have this whole little play I do in my head.
Can we do a little montage of that? Add some cool music, make you look like a Marvel hero?
Sure.
As you like strap on. Please tell me the helmet's white.
No, it's a black helmet.
Okay.
Sorry. You could buy me a white helmet.
We
I'd
should
wear
get
it.
you zooming off in a white suit. Look like you're from some
But that's not Batman.
boy band. Are you Batman in this?
In my image, I'm Batman. Yeah, in my thing.
Oh.
And it's all electric, and I feel very good about I'm saving the world. Good for me.
What are you doing? Who's texting you?
It's a notification from New Jersey Transit
What are they saying?
that smoking and vaping is strictly prohibited on platforms.
Oh, come on.
Where's the fun in that? Who doesn't love to vape and catch a commuter train? What better way to spend a Sunday?
Do you vape?
No, man. I used to smoke. I loved smoking. I miss it.
Every now and then I'm walking out in the street and you see someone smoking.
Yeah.
I've never smoked, but man, that smells good.
I was like a pack-a-day smoker for years. I loved it. If I could pick it back up, I would in a second. It's great.
So why don't you?
Why don't I?
Yeah.
I love my family. I don't want to die any sooner than I have to.
Okay.
It's probably not good for my career either.
There's always that.
Yeah, but I mean, like as an act, like if we could employ the rules of the dream menu, and there's no consequences, like I'd be smoking constantly.
On a desert island before you hang yourself, are you
Yeah, pack of
smoking away?
cigarettes. Yeah, if I could get like a bonus item, pack of cigarettes, absolutely, yeah.
Why don't you bring that instead of the Brita filter?
Guess, yeah. Well, okay, so
You're not going to be there long.
you're right. And honestly, if I were on a desert island, I probably would. end
Before
it
the
pretty
filter has filtered the water, you're gone.
quick. I'd give it a day or two. I would probably, honestly, I would put in a day or two of like, do any planes come here? I would try to spell help with some coconuts or whatever, like in a cartoon, where
Or
like,
just do it in the sand and eat the coconuts for sustenance.
do it in the sand. No,
Like,
because then
spell
the
it in the
short, I don't know anything about tides. There's going to be, I can't deal with that. I don't know the tides. I don't know about tides.
You will learn.
Tides?
After the first night, like, okay, at this time, it's going to be here.
You think I'm going to figure out that pattern in a day? No. And I'm going to start to get peckish very quickly. That's going to be my first concern. Is like, oh, I could
pretzels?
go for like a Cliff
Any
Bar.
pretzels?
Yeah. Very quickly that'll come up.
All right, so let's not reflect backwards. Let's look
Let's look
forward.
forwards.
So you're doing this till when?
This workshop?
Yeah.
I'll finish this. I've got another 2 weeks of this.
What's your favorite song in it?
After this, I'm going to go into rehearsals for another thing.
What's that called?
And then I'm going to have a little break. And then I'm going to go out of town for a while to work.
With?
And then after that, I come back and I've got a break, and then I'll be working here in town.
Oh, doing what?
And that's the plan. I mean, that carries me pretty much through to like Thanksgiving, which is great.
That's fantastic. I can't wait to see all those things. And I'm sure you'll tweet or Instagram
What
about
if
it.
they're all made up? None of them, unfortunately, will be the Italian production of Phantom of the Opera.
No, what a shame. That would have been so much fun.
I know, but you understand.
Of course.
It really broke my heart, though. It's
Listen,
something I
man.
keep coming back to.
What a privileged position to be in.
Absolutely. But it's, it's one of those things. Would have been really fun, but like it would have been, for me, selfish fun, Because it would have just been like, so I alone can have an experience
Right.
with my buddy in a cool place. And,
And your other buddy.
my other buddy. Yeah. But, I needed to,
Listen.
couldn't make it happen.
It happens.
Yeah.
Brother, I've missed you. Thanks for coming and hanging with me.
Did we do enough time?
Yeah.
Okay.
I think that's quite good.
Thanks to ChatGPT. Thanks to Simply Safe. What other sponsors do we need to thank? Alone. Thanks to Unagi.
Unagi.
That's the company that makes my scooter. You can rent one in the city. It's like
called
$30 a
Unagi?
month or something. Yeah.
Amazing.
UNAGI.
And you can catch Alone on
I think it's on Netflix.
Netflix.
Yeah. Roundabout Theater Company. Doing great work out
Can't wait
there.
for the next
Don't forget
season.
the Tony Awards on CBS.
June 11th. This will be out after that.
Are you going?
Yeah.
Yeah? Are
Yeah.
you performing?
Yeah.
Oh.
I say 2 lines.
What are they going to be? This will come out after that, so it won't be a spoiler.
No, I'm not. I can't remember.
What are they?
I got a week to learn
Come on,
it.
think about it. I want to hear it. Here's what I want. I want to hear them, and I want 3 passes at them.
But no, I
Come on, girl. You are funny. Is that one of them?
no. It's when we're leaving at the train station, so she can sing "Don't Rain on My
Yeah.
Parade." This
Hey,
will
and
come out
before you
after, 'cause
go,
we
don't
haven't.
forget to check the weather. Is it
No.
something like that?
No.
I haven't seen Funny Girl.
Oh,
Oh.
Fanny, there's no vaping or smoking cigarettes on the train. Goodbye, Fanny.
Is that how you talk in the show?
Something like that. Yeah. Now I got to make sure we haven't actually announced we're doing it at the time of this recording. We haven't announced we're doing it, so don't.
It's in like 20 minutes, the Tony Awards.
When's this coming out? After the Tonys, right? All right.
Oh, great. So you're good.
It was a great time at the Tonys to be back there on that stage.
What a thrill. Different stage this year. Do
Mate,
you know that?
It's up in Washington Heights, isn't
Yeah.
it? I didn't know they had a
Beautiful
stage
theater.
there. Is it?
Yeah,
Has it
it's
always been a
amazing.
theater there?
Yeah. The United Palace. It's pretty old. It's gorgeous.
Oh, I can't wait.
Yeah. It's fun. It's my old stomping grounds.
Brother,
Fresco Pizza on 187th Street. Check them out.
okay. Because
Great
I used to
pizza.
live off 181 in Riverside.
Yeah, you never really went up, though. You stayed down.
Wow, there's so much to do there.
Okay. Hey, great to see you and to hear you.
Yep.
And now a special acoustic performance of one of your favorite broadcast numbers. Take
Well-
it away, Ramin.
Funny you should say that. This was written by Andrew Kober. I was going to say Andrew Lloyd Webber. Which you can find on the greatest album, Cabaret.
Cabaret. It's not Cabaret. You wouldn't say like maybe this time from Cabaret. Is it Cabaret?
Cabaret. You're
No.
picking out the inflection, like my accent?
It's not your accent. It's-
Cabaret.
What would you call the Kender and Ebb show?
Cabaret.
You're wrong. That's just not what it's called. It's not
What's it called?
Cabaret.
What's the difference?
Life is a cabaret, old chum.
Yeah,
Cabaret.
but that's because they're singing it. Say
okay,
it.
but cabaret.
Cabaret.
No, there's no one in history who's ever said it like that. This is not an accent thing. This is
Are you sure it's not an accent thing?
Of course, it's not an accent thing. It has nothing to do with like your accent. You don't. It's just the emphasis. It's the syllable.
Okay, what show did we do in 2014 on
Les
Broadway?
Miserables.
Les
It's like you
Miserables.
saying Les Miserables.
No, I don't say that.
I know, because that would be wrong. Just like cabaret.
So how do you say the show?
Cabaret.
No, the other show?
Which one? Les Miserables.
Les Miserables.
Okay, if you want to go all French on it, sure.
So how do I know you're not doing that with Cabaret?
It's not called cabaret. It's cabaret.
Okay, what's the title of the show you're doing right now?
What?
The title of
I
the show.
can't tell you.
Because let's see the accent on that.
No, I can't tell you.
What's it called?
You're okay. So right now you're in Funny Girl, right?
Funny girl.
It would be like you saying, "Oh yeah, I'm playing." Who do you play? Nick in Funny Girl. Are you gonna come see Funny
That's
Girl?
what you're doing with Cabaret.
No,
you're going
that's what
Cabaret.
You're doing. You're putting it on the wrong syllable. I'm not saying it has to be the first or the last. With Cabaret, it's the last. With Funny Girl, it's the first. It would be as insane as you saying, "Oh yeah, Thursday night." No, I can't because I'm performing in Funny Girl. That would be insane to say, wouldn't it?
Well, maybe one day you and I can do the show Evita.
That is the same as what you're doing with Cabaret.
I think you're doing it with Cabaret.
Funny Girl. It's insane.
Phantom of the Opera.
No, that's not a good example.
Isn't it?
No. No. That's nothing.
Sweeney Todd.
Sweeney Todd.
Sweeney Todd.
That would be weird.
Are you kidding me?
Sweeney Todd. Yeah, John Rhapsody's in Sweeney Todd.
Sweeney Todd. Sweeney Todd.
Sweeney Todd. The emphasis on Todd.
No, this is an accent thing.
It's not an accent thing.
It's because I'm Iranian?
Yeah, that's why.
Sweeney Todd.
Yeah, it's because you're Iranian. That's it.
I can't think of another musical.
I mean, there's others. It doesn't matter. You can pronounce any musical wrong.
I think I do.
I think you
well,
do.
one of us does.
Cabaret. And I'm telling you,
He's getting so angry.
it's because it's not a matter of opinion. It's just fact. It's just how it's pronounced. Some
don't
things
know.
are true. I will not be gaslit into thinking that Cabaret.
Hang on. Before we go, I'm phoning Jonathan Rocksmith, who's from South Africa, and it might be an accent thing.
I don't know what this has to do with anything. This is nothing. Okay, what's that? The podcast is over. There's
It's
no
not.
way this
We're
is
keeping
usable.
this in.
This is the most boring. I'm going on my phone.
No.
See what's going on.
Hello, you're through to Jonathan Rocksmith. I'm afraid I'm not going to be in South Africa.
Oh. I think I phoned a South African. Maybe he's got a...
And why don't you ever answer the phone when I call?
Because I was in the show when you called. Let me phone his WhatsApp.
This is a huge. None of this is usable.
Here we go. It's very much usable.
What are you wearing?
Jonathan, you're live on the podcast. I'm here with... I'm not cutting that. I'm here with Andrew
Just spell it for
Kober.
him. Don't say it. Spell it.
Listen, we're having an argument on how to pronounce a show title.
Okay.
The one by Kander and Ebb with the character Sally Bowles,
yeah.
MC. On the count of three, will you just say the title of the show? 1, 2, 3.
Cabaret.
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 Say it again.
Cabaret.
Yeah. Cabaret.
Yeah, it's an accent thing.
Okay.
He's getting mad at me. I'm saying cabaret.
No, think about the way the song's written. Life is a cabaret, old chum.
Okay, you two should do a podcast. I'll talk to you later. Bye. Good having you on, buddy.
Love you, buddy.
Love you. See you
I'm
later.
so happy I'm right.
Fucking hell.
You
that was
really
good.
think that it's perfectly acceptable to say cabaret? You're an idiot. You're out of your mind.
He's still rolling. Cabaret.